وعليكم
بسم
السلام.
الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. As we're concluding the month of Ramadan, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadah in this month and to forgive us anything we have done to ignorance or mistake or forgetfulness. Tonight I'm going to touch on this ayah. It's one of my top favorite ayat in the Quran. It's in Surah Yunus, ayah number 44. إن الله لا يظلم الناس شيئا ولكن الناس أنفسهم يظلمون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wrong people in the least whatsoever, but they are the ones who wrong themselves. There was a professor who was talking to his students, and he is a communist, right? And he said that good doesn't exist. And he said that Allah didn't do, or God didn't do a good job because there's no good in this world. So a young child who was 5 years old or 6 years old stood up and said, Professor, does cold exist? He said, yes. He said, no, according to the laws of physics, there's no cold. But there's the absence of heat. This is what creates cold. And he said, there's no such thing as darkness, but the absence of light creates darkness, right? And he says, there's goodness, and the absence of goodness in our hearts and in our lives, in our actions, this is what creates injustices. This child was Einstein, right? So this is a story from his childhood. So we're going to talk about justice and injustice. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wrong us in any way. If you do ibadah, He will give you the reward. If you plan to do something, you don't do it, He will give you one reward. If you do it, you will get 10 rewards. If you plan to do something evil, you don't do it, you will get a reward. If you do it, you will get one sayyah, one evil deed. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did His best. He created us, as He said in Surah Al-Nahl, وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ. It is Allah who created you. He brought you out of the wombs of your mothers while you know nothing, and He gave you hearing and sight and intellect, but you hardly give any thanks. So all of us came to this dunya with equal opportunities. So Mussolini, Hitler, George Bush, Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, the other guy, what is his name? The guy? Justin Bieber, yeah. All of them came to this world with an even opportunity to become good people. And I believe Hitler and Mussolini and all the criminals and all the tyrants of our time were all innocent when they were 4 years old. So what happened? Why did they become so evil, right? It's because of their choices, the choices they made in their life. Allah didn't wrong them. He gave them good opportunities, but they chose to do wrong, right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the fitrah, to choose what is right. This pure nature of believing in Allah and doing what is good, right? And this is what Islam is all about, to believe in Allah, to do good. This is what Islam is all about. He sent prophets and He sent the books, right? And He gave us hidayah. And He gave us long lives, 50, 60, 70 years. And what we do at the end, we say, Ya Allah, we didn't live long enough. 60 years, 70 years were not long enough for us to make tawbah. How long does it take you to say, Ya Allah, forgive me? 4 or 5 seconds? But still people live 70, 80 years and they don't have time to even say, Ya Allah, forgive me. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did His part. He gave us all these opportunities. He gave us all these abilities. He gave us good times and good opportunities to get close to Him. Like the month of Ramadan, like Laylatul Qadr, like your parents, you can use them as your means to Jannah. We all know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he ascended the minbar and he said Ameen 3 times. You all know the hadith. And the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, why did you say Ameen 3 times? And he said, Jibreel came to me and told me if someone witnesses the month of Ramadan and they don't get their sins forgiven in the month of Ramadan, they are losers. So I said Ameen. And he said if someone witnesses his parents, so his parents or one of them lives during his lifetime and he or she does not, or their parents do not become their means to Jannah, they are losers. So I said Ameen. Then he said, if someone hears your name, Ya Muhammad, and doesn't say alayhi salatu wasalam, he's a loser, so I said Ameen, right? So all the ibadat, how many Muslims pray, right? There's 1.6 billion Muslims, how many of them pray, right? I don't know the statistics, maybe 10%, less or more, Allahu A'lam. How many Muslims who have money give the zakat, right? 2.5%. And all the Muslim countries that have oil, they have to give 20% on that oil. Imagine if all the Muslim countries, the oil-rich countries, they give 20% to the poor. Wallahi, no poor person will be left in this whole planet. Muslim or non-Muslim. We're talking about trillions of dollars. How many Muslims fast in the month of Ramadan? How many Muslims have the financial and the physical ability and they still don't go for the Hajj? I mean, so many people. Oh, we don't feel like doing Hajj this year. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them all these opportunities and they just waste them and they don't do their best. What is even worse is that some people, they do their best in Ramadan, they do ibadah and salah, Taraweeh, sadaqah, iftar, all these things, and they waste all these hasanat after Ramadan, right? So I feel very sorry for them. So if you earn hasanat, this is what I always say, if you earn hasanat the hard way, fasting for 17 hours, standing for 2-3 hours in salah and Taraweeh or tahajjud, and zakah, all these good ibadat, then you lose hasanat the easy way, right? So we should feel sorry for this person. The example that I always give is just like someone that took a month to build a beautiful house with a garden, front yard, a fence, flowers, everything. Then after the month is over, the house looks its best, then he demolishes the house, he levels it to the ground. This is basically what we do after Ramadan. I like this hadith from the Prophet ﷺ through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hadith Qudsi. Ya ibadi, innama hiya a'malukum uhsiha alaykum. فمن وجد خيرا فليحمد الله ومن وجد غير ذلك فلا يلومن إلا نفسه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this hadith, oh my servants, on the day of judgment you will get your book. If you see something good, it is from Allah because He made it easy for you to do good. But if you find something wrong, then the only person you should blame is who? You. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us to do ibadah and to accept our ibadah and to help us preserve these ibadah after the month of Ramadan. The question for last night was, what is the reward for reading Surah Al-Kahf on the day of Jum'ah? And of course there are several authentic hadith. And one of them, whoever recites Surah Al-Kahf on the day of Jum'ah, then a light will shine for them from this Jum'ah until the next one with 3 days extra. Because if you do ibadah, you'll get to reward, and the winner is brother Asim Sirri. MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar. Tonight's question is very easy. The Quran was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ in Mecca and Medina. How long did it take the Quran to be revealed? How many years the Quran was revealed over? So if you know the answer, you may leave before tomorrow. I'll send info and stuff.